Good evening, students. Let me proceed further, and in this particular video you would check it out that we have completed with the discussion on soul in the differences of the soul that we have checked out, and we have seen how infinite soul with the help of mind and intellect is able to proceed further to understand the different qualities of the object which is existing in the external world, and we are able to perceive it on one hand, and on the other hand even we understood the model that he is trying to give it to us for the internal perception also. Now, in this particular discussion right now, you will see that yes, soul is there, and through or you can say with the help of this soul, we are able to understand two things. Number one, mind is independent, okay, of soul, and secondly we have seen that the process of the entire thing that has taken place for perception is also independent. These are the two conclusions that he has drawn, he in the sense Viswanath Bhatta in the next paragraph. So, after going through the entire process of the perception of the external object, as I have mentioned and reiterated again and again in my previous videos, there is an argument which can be formed from contradiction out here, and we will see what is this contradiction is, and this is the biggest problem when we are reading the entire process given to us by Viswanath Bhatta in his book Nyaya Siddhanta Muktavali. Or I can even say that yes, I'm going to render a dilemma for ourselves from the contradiction. Now you see what is the contradiction out here. On one hand we have soul, on the other hand mind is there, then the perception. Now let us understand what kind of contradiction is taking place with the interplay of all these three. Now the condition is that if it is the case that the mind is independent, then it is the case that perception is also independent on one side, as I have showcased to you just in the above diagram, which has been given the number as 12. And we have also seen that if it is the case that it is the mind which is perceiving, okay, then it is the case that the identified perception is not in the soul. Okay, so where does it lie? Is it in the mind or is it somewhere else? What is the metaphysical or the ontological status of that? That is something again we need to understand. And the last I would say the horn which is present out here is, if it is the case that the perception is in the soul, if we go along with that, then it is the case that it is not perceived. So if it is already existing in the soul, then we are not perceiving it. So where ultimately is taking place is something that we need to understand, and I hope you have taken care of the three conditionals that has been presented out here. In other words, we can say that the choices are either it is the case that mind is independent, as I have shown, or it is the case that mind perceives the external object, or it is the case that perception belongs to as a quality to the soul. So all the three things have been taken care. So what is the conclusion that we get? Either it is the case that perception is independent, number one. Number two, it is the case that the identified perception is not in the realm of the soul, or it is the case that it is not perceived at all also. So what do we get ultimately from here? The from this particular contradiction that you are able to see through the dilemma, we are able to know that from this, one can conclude that the soul has knowledge, and it is not the real knowledge as it is not perceived, okay, and the mind has no knowledge. Have you understood the dilemma? So where do we proceed further and understand the knowledge of the external object which is existing in the world, and how do we go about it? Now this is the thing that he takes it up in the end, and the I should say the his rivals are existing in this world, and they catch hold of him in these haunts that I have showcased to you, and the problems or the questions are raised for the theory of the knowledge, of the verbal knowledge that we are talking about. So in the why I wanted to talk about and discussed so much in length is that, and this is the nature of the verbal knowledge till here. Now later you will see that I would be entering into the intricacies of the verbal knowledge, and we would try to understand the details about how they would like to go ahead and present their I would say operational or operationalism, or you can even say phenomenological description of their verbal knowledge. You can give various names, and we will see how to proceed further. And these kind of things is very viable in nature, in the sense that if you go into healthcare industry, okay, where the doctors are there, and the doctors, nurses, and even I would say social servants, some of us who are running the NGOs, and you really would like to come up and pick up the services like taking care of the senior citizens, or taking care of the individuals who are disabled, you can say, or even handicapped children or mental disabled children, when you are taking care, or even mental patients, when you are dealing with them and trying to understand, there are certain conversations that are taking place. Now once you enter into those conversations, you start listening to them, and you try to understand as to what exactly do they want to say and understand, and you can proceed further, and you can do it on one hand. On the other hand, if you ask me, Ramdi ma'am, what are the other practical uses of this? Definitely yes, if you are a very good listener, maximum of our cases you will see in the domain of business, or psychology, or I would say even law also, or in the case of the film studies, when you are focusing and listening to those dialogues, how are you interpreting it? You can see those differences coming in a very nice manner, and through this detailed work of Viswanath Bhatta, which is a very traditional in itself, I would say belonging as compared to the Western theories of Frege, Russell, Saul Kripke, or you can even go to Wittgenstein, or the latest contemporary philosophers also. However, I have my reservations for Nayayikas, the traditional Prachina Nayayikas, I would rather say, and that's the reason why I have taken so much of pain to go ahead and read the text in depth, so that we are able to understand what they are talking about, how we are able to proceed further. Given these things, now let us enter and see the entire psychological, operational, phenomenological, descriptive verbal knowledge that Nayayikas are going to give it to us, and try to understand from various perspectives. Now that is the next few videos discussions would be taking up, and we would like to understand as to what exactly is taking place. So I hope you are now able to understand what exactly is the foundation for Viswanath Bhatta in order to proceed further with the establishment of his own verbal knowledge. So let me stop here, and I'll be starting off in my next video with that one. Till then, thank you and take care. Bye.